Hello, this is Petra, and today we are going to learn how to make a double crochet. If you are having trouble doing any of the stitches I do before the double crochet, just know I have videos making the slip stitch, the chain stitch, and if something else seems confusing, I probably have a video for it, or please feel free to message me or comment below. First, we're going to start with our slip stitch. And I will stress to you again, I have videos to show you that very slowly if that was confusing. And then we are going to chain 10. If chaining is new to you, I also have video for that. So we are going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Once we have 10, we are going to chain 2. 1, 2. Chaining 2 is very important because these two last chains are going to be your turning chain, they call it, or it's kind of like a border of some sort or a wall. It's going to keep your work nice and straight all the way up. Please make sure you make them, because if you don't, your work will turn in and get smaller and smaller, and you might not notice it until you've done a few stacks of rows, and it'll, you're just gonna have to pull out and start over. When I was a beginner, I didn't understand it, so I didn't do it, and then I kept wondering why my work looked a certain way, but I'm not good at looking at the instructions or reading them, so make sure you do add your 2. It does matter, and it will save you time. And so what we're going to do next in order to do the double crochet is we are going to start by yarning over the yarn that is connected to our ball of yarn. We're going to yarn that over. Skip the first 2 we made because those are going to count as your side, and we're going to go into the 3rd chain on the hook, as they call it. So you would say 1, 2, 3. We're going into the 3rd one. We're going into it with this one over it, so good luck. We're going to go in, and once you go in, you're going to have 3 hoops on your hook, and this one is going to be, it'll probably naturally fall over. If it doesn't, then you need to yarn it over and pull the one to the right of it out. The one on your foundation chain, we do not want that on your hook. Once you do that, you have 3 on your hook. We are going to yarn over, pull through these 2 in the middle, need to go over this one. You will have 2 more on your hook. You want to yarn over and pull through those 2 as well. And I'm going to do that just about the same as I just did, so hopefully it will be easier to follow. I'm going to yarn over, go through the very next hoop on the foundation chain. You will have 3 on your hook. You want to yarn over and get this one off of the foundation chain. So in order to do that, this one is going over the one on your ball of yarn. So the one on your ball of yarn should be this one. Then we're going to yarn over, pull through 2 in the middle, yarn over, and get rid of the other 2 to the right of your hook. So we're going to yarn over, go into the next, and yarn over, get this piece off of our hook in order to finish our chain or our stitch here, and yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 at the very right side. And I'm doing mine a little looser, that way hopefully our works match up a little better than a beginner and advanced. I want ours to look a little bit the same. This is what it should look for a beginner, or even a lot looser. If it's too tight, you might want to pull it out and try again. For me at the beginning, it was really hard to keep my work tight, and so I had to learn how to get a better tension to make it tighter. But I've also done classes and people do it really tight to start out as beginners because they think it'll make their work look nice, and it is, I think it's worse than starting out loose. because you can't really get your hook into any of the chains, and you can't hoop over right, and it's very frustrating for them, and making it loose is always good for beginners. So yarn over. We're going to go into the next one. We want to get this one off the hook by yarning over and pulling it out. We want our foundation chain to lay, and then for these 2 in the middle to stack, and the 2 at the end to also cause a stack. And this is lifting your work up. This is what makes the difference in between a single and a double crochet and a half double. The double crochet is, it's maybe more confusing because it's a bigger stitch. We're going to yarn over, go in through the middle, yarn over, take the foundation chain out, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we're going to start the stitch again. Yarn over, go into the middle of the next one, yarn over, take the foundation chain off the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. We're going to start it over. Yarn over, 2 on your hook, yarn over, and then pull through 2. And then we have one more at the end. We're going to, sorry to say it, yarn over, go in through the middle, yarn over, take that off the foundation chain, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then in order to go further, since we are at the very end, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and turn your work. This is when your tail moves to the left, to the right, or the opposite if you are working with your other hand. Now we are going to, and mine's a different size because I started tightening it up near the end here. So this gives you an example of how doing it loose and tight. And you could even do it tighter than that, and you can do it looser than that. So if some of yours aren't consistent, you don't have to necessarily think you did something wrong. Alright, so we are going to yarn over. And when we did this step, we now have braids, and we want to, you can always count your braids across to see, make sure you're doing it right. We want to see 10. And this one's very hard to tell, but at the end, this one is also a braid. So make sure you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is perfect. As soon as you have 10, I'm going to count it one more time. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now that we have 10, this wall chain or turning chain is actually going to count as 1. So since we have 10 here, we're going to skip the first one. The last one that we counted as 10, we're going to skip that because this one now counts as that crochet. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing we've been doing, but start going into chains. We're going to yarn over, skip this first one, so go into the very next, yarn over, and go into this one. You go into this one, you want to yarn over and get this stitch off of your hook, so you have 3. Once you have 3, you want to yarn over, get these 2 in the middle, over, then yarn over again and get the last 2 off your hook as well. I'm going to yarn over, and it's nice to keep your work this way. You don't always have to keep it flat. I like to keep it where you can see your braids very nicely, your chains, your hooks, and everything's all right here. So we're going to yarn over. We're going to go through both of these, which counts as 1 to me, I guess. And then you're going to yarn over, and you want to get that one off your hook to begin. And then you're going to yarn over, pull 2 under, yarn over, pull 2 under, or it may look something like this. Yarn over, and through the middle, yarn over, and grab it with your fingers instead. Pull through, and when you have 3 on your hook, you're going to yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the last 2, yarn over, go under these, yarn over. We want to get this one off your hook, and to do that, you have to get it out from under there. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the middle, yarn over, pull through the 2 in the midd yarn over, and pull through 2. And your work should look similar to this. And if you are doing your turning chains right and counting your stitches across, and make sure you're really looking at those braids, this should help you and you should get it. And I'm actually going to go to the end here and do one more and turn, just so you can see which one you need to go into last. So I'm going to yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. Alright, now that we are getting to the end here, here's what your end should look like. We're going to go to 1, through this one, and then there is one more at the end that you make sure you go through. And the reason I'm going to show you is because if you look at your work like this, you will see that it looks a little bit bigger on this side. Make sure you go through that last one. Because for me, oh, it looked nice, you know, when I first started learning how to crochet, but you really got to make sure you make it to the end all the way. Put one more double crochet through there, and you chain 2, 1, 2. You would turn your work, and then you could see how much how it looks flat right here. So then you would do how you did before. You would yarn over, skip that first one because this now counts as that on the turning of the chain, or of the, yes, turning, and then you're going into your very next one. And pull through 2, pull through 2, and you go all the way across. And happy crocheting. I hope this was helpful. I have other videos, so check those out too. Thank you.